Hi, I'm interested in trading bots. Yeah, so
Or
mainly I'm a day trader. I'm looking for something that can trade trends intraday.
okay, so when you say trend, let's talk about that. When you say trend, are you taking one or two or three trades throughout the day, or are you understanding a trend as maybe 30, 40 ticks and scalping within that period? What type of
No, I'm mainly just
trend?
looking to capture the bulk of the moves, the bulk of the big swings intraday, and kind of lock in profit as the trade unfolds.
Fair enough. And do you like to take one or two targets off as you're going? How do you particularly like the trade?
Yeah, ideally, kind of phase in, phase out. So take partial profits, let the bulk of it run as long as possible.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Well, we have a couple of bots that would fit you there. Well, actually three. We have the Auto Ripper. That's a price action momentum scalping bot where you can take one or two targets off real quick. You can allow your third target to run. That's more of a like I said, it's a price action base. So it's not really a trending bot, but you can add your third runner to where you can take 10, 15, 20 tick moves as your runner predominantly. If you want to take more of like a trending trade to where you want to take one or two targets off, like for an example, if you're trading ES and you want to take maybe one target off at 10 ticks, your second target off at 15 or 20 ticks, and allow your third target to run, then that would be more towards our power trend, and that's one of our higher successful bots for traders that are intermediate or beginner to intermediate traders. That works very, very well. And then we have our PowerTrend Pro, which is our proprietary trend bot, where there are three individual modes you can select, and that is more of a block boxed version, a higher end version of TruTrade's trend automation. How much do you normally trade? What type of contracts do you trade? What instruments do you trade? I guess is the next best question.
Okay, so generally I'll trade the NQ or ES, and typically I trade with about 3 to 10 lot max. Usually, if I'm scalping, I'll trade 5 to 10 contracts. If I'm trading trends, I'll do a little bit smaller, usually 2 or 3 contracts.
Okay, so here's a question: Do you want a little bit of control of where you can actually maybe kind of make the bot your own, or are you looking for more of a black boxed, real high end black boxed version? What kind of fits you? Are you somebody that likes to sit and tweak a little bit, or do you just want something completely turnkey?
I,
What's
I actually, yeah, I actually like both approaches, and there's pros and cons to both. Obviously, I would probably like to be more hands-on initially, but then once I got it dialed in, I'd like to be as hands-free as possible.
right? Well, all of our bots are all hands free. You interact with them a little bit differently. Um, as you start creeping up and to more of our expensive software, then the systems become a lot more intuitive, and you're able to have a lot more position management. If we're talking about the power trend, which is probably one that I would recommend for you, is what it sounds like. The power trend is just a brilliant bot. You're able to key in on up to three targets, and you'll be able to also tweak that with higher time frame filters of your choosing. As well, it has price action trail stops, and we have our proprietary momentum trail stop as well, which is our highly coveted black box position management that we have in our higher end versions. So the reason why I highly recommend the power trend for you specifically is because you can kind of make it your own. We would give you a lot of the settings for ES, YM, NQ, RTY. That's not a problem, but you can actually go in there and tweak it to really adhere. If you want to if you carry positions overnight, if you maybe want to use a higher time frame of maybe like a 240-minute chart, you can adjust your trends and adjust of how much you like to take from the market, depending on if your entry chart's a 2-minute chart, or if you're trading a Renko chart, or if you're trading a range bar for your entry. You can utilize any of these bar types, and it all works very, very well. What we really recommend is utilizing a higher time frame filter, and then utilizing a Renko as your entry chart. depending on the instrument, the time of day that you trade. All of these settings will be given to you, but the bar sizes typically change, or we recommend to change them depending on which time that we trade. So like if you're trading, for an example, in Q, per US, maybe like a 12-3 wrinkle bar. If we're trading during the open, we would want something quite a bit larger, like a 12-5 size wrinkle bar we would recommend. If you start trading pre-session London or Tokyo session, then maybe back down to like a 12-3 or even an 8-2 size bar, depending on volatility. But again, these can all be tweaked very, very easily within the properties of the chart.
Okay, that sounds good. So let's kind of just, can we talk about, like, show me how both different versions can work, as far as the one that I can adjust and then also the one that's proprietary?
Right. So the one that's proprietary, let's talk about the PowerTrend first real quick. We're on a current chart now. I don't really want to show you of how much money it makes, but I just want to show you of how it trades on the chart that we're looking at right now. And I'll show you the differences of them. One is typically, the PowerTrend Pro is quite a bit more expensive, but that's not really indicative of that you're going to make more money. It's how we utilize the bots. The PowerTrend Pro is an amazing system. It utilizes a multitude of higher time frames, supports resistance levels of a multitude of other charts, and it's calculating a lot of data to make those trades. And you have mode 1, 2, and 3 that you can choose from, and every mode is going to use higher end filters every time you start going from mode 1 to mode 2 to mode 3. So it's more of your passive bot. It's more of a bot. You can actually sit there and understand that it's going to take a lot of data into account before it makes a trade. It trades a lot less than if you're using the PowerTrend Pro, it would trade quite a bit less. Mode 2 would trade maybe 30% less than mode 2, and that would be the same as mode 3. It would be 20 to 30% less than mode 2. That bot, you can still adjust your tick targets. You can still adjust, there's a few filters that you can adjust as well, but the PowerTrend is literally using 3 higher time frames if you want to use mode 3, where it's going to be very, very picky on how it gets in and out of trades. The money management is where TruTrade has really excelled with that automation. You're able to scale in and scale out. You can also run your runners with our momentum trail stop, which is just brilliant. It'll tighten or widen the OC brackets depending on the volatility and the momentum of the trade that you're in, of the chart that you're in, utilizing the higher time frame. So if you step away from your chart and you start taking really good trades to the downside, for an example, and now you start getting to, let's say, a daily support level, the system will understand that. It will start tightening your brackets, so that way when price starts going against you, you're not going to give up as much profit as if you, let's say you're using like a price action trail stop. You'll lock in a lot more profits that way. The money management of the PowerTrend Pro is where the metal meets the meat. That's where we can really start conserving our profits and really dialing in our bots when you start utilizing the higher end position management software that's within the PowerTrend Pro. The PowerTrend, which I'm going to show you right now, is actually one of my favorite bots. When you're more of a skilled trader and you kind of know your settings that you want to use, again, we give you the settings here at TruTrade, but this is a bot that you can kind of make it your own, and on top of the settings that we give you, and you can really manipulate that bot. So you can trade ES with one type of strategy, trade NQ with a completely different another type of strategy, and you can also change the strategies if you're trading in London or you're trading during US. So you can literally make that bot and tweak it and however you want, and it'll really do very well. The PowerTrend Pro, again, is just another level of a black box system that we have. A lot of our really higher end clients utilize the PowerTrend Pro. The ones that have accounts from, we have clients that that purchase that product from $50,000, and we have a multitude of clients that are well above $10 million that utilize these accounts. They're usually purchasing the global version of the bots. It's something that I don't think that we should be getting into right now on the global side. That's just another conversation. But I think right now let's just concentrate on the PowerTrend. Let me go up and pull up the properties for you. And while I'm doing that, do you have any questions while I'm loading this up?
No, not at this point.
Okay, so you can see here that the PowerTrend Pro, with the settings that we use, they work very well. Again, I'm not just picking a chart. This was the end of the day today on Friday on the NQ chart. So this was the close, and you can see here, let me try to blow this chart up for you, but you can see here the way that we have it set is you can actually come in here and it's throwing out 3 targets every time it's entering on a trade here. Let me zoom out over here. You can see here that it's taking target here. So the PowerTrend is exactly what it is. It's here to take longer trending moves. So if you have a smaller account, this is a bot that works very well, because you don't really need to trade 5, 6, 7, 8 lots to make a really good profit. We trade a multitude of different bar sizes, but this one right here, this bar size here, this is a 25 Renko size bar, just to kind of let you know what we're looking at here. And let me just scan through the market. And again, this is just the PowerTrend. You can see how, and you can adjust the targets, by the way, to the type of trading that you want to do. That's what's so awesome about this bot. Not only that we would give you these settings, even though these work very well, as you can see, you can adjust this and make it your own. So if you wanted to come in here and then just pull up, let's say like ES, this would be the wrong bar for the ES, and I can adjust it for you so I can show you how easy it is to adjust. And here's ES at the very end here, and then let's go ahead and adjust a bar size that I feel that's a really good bar size for ES. And you'll see here, now that I made the changes, that it has really big sweeping moves here. And you'll see the time slot, again, not a lot of movement this day compared to the NQ, but you'll see here that it's, again, it's shooting out 3 targets at a time here. That's how we have it in the properties here, and you'll see that it does really well with these particular settings. And again, these settings aren't the be all. It just depends on the time of day. So as you can tell, I was showing you the end of the day, so I wanted to go with a little bit smaller of a bar size so it would have a little bit more volatility here. But I can take it to the previous day's open, and you'll see that the bot does really well. The great thing about the PowerTrend is, again, you can apply higher time frames. You can apply a different entry settings if you like, above and beyond the ones that we give you, and you can apply them what fits your needs and your own downside risk. That's the beautiful thing about the PowerTrend. It's one that we highly recommend for anyone that likes to trade trends, whether that trend would be in a month, whether that trend would be in a week, or whether that trend would be in trading a daily chart, or trading a 4-hour chart or a 5-minute chart. The PowerTrend or the PowerTrend Pro just works fantastic. Do you have any questions?
Okay, so on this version you're showing me here, it's obviously this bot's quite versatile, and you're using 3 different entries. So it looks like entries, the first 2 are quicker scalp targets, and then the third is the runner. Is that correct?
Yeah, so that's why this bot's like a chameleon. This is great. It's a trending bot, but yet we're scalping along the way. So if you actually wanted to buy this bot and didn't want to buy the auto ripper and you still wanted to scalp, what the beautiful thing is you just disengage the third target. So you literally can come in here and just scalp 1 and 2 targets if you wanted to, and we can just pretend that the third target's not there. So you can see if I make these larger here, you can see here that you can just scalp along the way. So as you're running your higher time frame filters here, you can just run a higher time frame filter and sit there and surgically scalp after scalp after scalp, and you can see how effective it is if you're just scalping. And again, I didn't set the bot up here to scalp. I'm just setting it up to trend here because I feel that you're more of a trend trader. But as you can see here, it does really, really well as the market runs. And for those that don't have huge accounts trading ES, NQ, futures, this is a great way of risk versus reward, where you're trading, maybe a 3 or 4 lot, you're taking off a couple real quick and allowing 1 contract to run. So kind of give you an example here. So if you're just in this trade here, 1 contract, that's $1,300 roughly per contract, not taking consideration what you've already taken off up here. Okay, so this bot works really well, and we can run a calculator up on this one as well. You can see just on a 1 lot that that's a grand, and that's if you still let it run against you this far. That doesn't mean that you're not gonna as the deals here are a pain in the butt. When you have a really good runner like this doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to let it run back on you. If we're trading here realistically, as a trader, when we're taking money, you probably would have stopped right up in here somewhere to be completely fair. But nevertheless, even if you would have stopped right there or something like that, nevertheless, you're still about $900 per contract. Again, I'm not calculating the 10 and 20 tick profit taking here as well. So this trade's probably about $1,400 actually. Again, not taking all the way up to the top, but again, you can see how well it does just on the market with these particular settings over and over again here. This is where the market consolidates a little bit, but it still doesn't do too bad in the consolidation. Again, we're waiting for a run, and it's throwing out 3 targets again, because that's how we set the bot up to run. And as you can see here, there's 3 targets. And then again, it does a really nice move to the downside for, roughly $1,500. So this is probably about $2,000, considering that you have 10 ticks and a 20 tick winner right there as well. And again, just using a small example over here, if you just want to take a small example, let's say you're taking a trade here, you just run it up a little bit here, you got $350, not taking consideration your 10 and 20 tick winners right down there. So that's probably another $500 or $600 there. It's a very, very good bot. And again, it's not something that you're going to be pigeonholed to where it's just a black box and you can never change it. That's just the beautiful thing about the PowerTrend. The PowerTrend is just amazing. The PowerTrend Pro, again, is one of our flagship bots. It's really, really high end in regards to the data points that it utilizes to take the trades, and the money management as well is pretty amazing. The money management in the PowerTrend Pro is still, again, in regards to the marketplace today, it's just phenomenal with the momentum chill stops, the price action chill stops. You can trade with the 3 entries. Anything else?
Yeah, so we're talking about the PowerTrend currently, right? There's also the PowerTrend Pro, which you discussed.
Right, would you like me to show that to you real quick? Okay, so here's the PowerTrend Pro, and you can see here on the chart that now you have you can turn the bot on and off here. You can trade when you click this orange button here, you can go trade to the upside and the downside. You can decide if you want to trade to the isolate the upside, or you can isolate trading to the downside only. You have auto modes 1, 2, and 3, and you also have discretionary mode as well. So If you're one of those types that like to look at your own higher time frames or however you want to trade, and you want to enter the market immediately and override the algorithms of the PowerTrend Pro, you can literally go into the trade here and take a long or short position immediately, and have the money management software just kick on as you enter the market as well. So this is just a really high-end chart trader as well. So if you want to, again, you want to enter the market, if you have a continuation, maybe that triggered off of if you're trading crude or something and you have a continuation to the downside and you want to just go ahead, hey, I want to enter the market right now, you can easily just do it manually, and all of your money management settings that you made will just kick right in. And again, you have mode 1, 2, 3, and 4. The one, well, not the one thing, but the few things that really separate the PowerTrend Pro is the money management side, as well as the entries as well. So let's go over the entries. Mode 1, 2, and 3, again, those are all proprietary. Mode 1 is really good to trade in more of a where there's a lot more volume, a lot more volatility in the market. That's where you're going to make really good profits when the market is running really, really well. It's going to be a little bit less picky, but again, very, very stringent on how it gets into the market. As you go up into mode 2, auto mode 2, again, we're going to add on more filters, and it's going to be a little bit more picky than mode 1. And it's just the same thing with mode 3. Mode 3 is going to utilize up to 3 higher time frames. Again, that's just the basis of it, and there's a multitude of other data points that depict when the bot is going to enter or exit, enter into a position. These are all made to run 2, 3, 4 instruments simultaneously, so that way they're all being traded and very picky to go in. That way, again, you're not sitting there day in, day out trying to crunch data, which is what we all are trying not to do these days, which is why we're talking about purchasing automation. And in regards to the money management, this is where it's just phenomenal. You can average in and average out your contracts. So you can actually go in into a trade, and your initial trade, and again, I'm just talking about futures here for now, you can go into a trade, let's say with 2 contracts, and as soon as your first target is hit, on your second entry, you can load it to 5 or 10 contracts and really average in. And that's just a brilliant way of really putting the move into your favor. So you can kind of edge your way in with a couple of contracts, load up on the second entry, which is a great way to trade. And as you load in, it will unwind the contract as the trades progress. Again, this is just a very high-end hedge fund quality type system for those that want to run very large accounts, or for those that want to run moderate accounts but yet are not really the best traders. Again, you want more higher end systems for those that don't trade as well. It's not the opposite. The ones that trade really, really well can actually get away with maybe something a little bit less intuitive, because it actually gives you more control. The less you know, the more you need. That's just what I would highly recommend. But the PowerTrend Pro or the PowerTrend, you just won't go wrong with any of them. They both work just phenomenally. It just depends on what type of trader and how you want to trade. Anything else?
That's a pretty good presentation. So in my case, I actually like both of them. So
Right. So here's my question, and that's, I get that a lot, right? So here's my question to you. Again, I think that you answered it previously, but a lot of guys, once they get used to using a bot and they get really comfortable, especially with, I'm obviously talking about TruTrade software, you start getting really comfortable with the systems. It's nice to tweak them a little bit, but however, the PowerTrend Pro is extremely advanced as well. So it kind of depends on your pocketbook, and it kind of depends on if you're going to trade, stocks and futures, if you're only going to trade futures, if you're only going to trade maybe a few instruments, a few indices, maybe if you're just going to trade NQ and so forth. it just kind of depends on what you would like to do. Do you trade crude? Do you trade, what do you normally trade? Just ES and NQ?
Yeah, well, the E-minis primarily, equity index futures, but I also trade
right.
oil, gold, and currencies occasionally.
Right. So, and then what's your account size?
About 150K.
150,000. So whether you have 150,000 or whether you have 20,000, we always want to do this. We always recommend that our clients, you always want to sim everything for at least 30 days. You always want to feel comfortable and understand the nuances of the bot. Not just how the bot trades, but you want to understand what modes to use if you're buying the Pro, or if you're using the PowerTrend, what settings that you want to use for what instruments at what time of day. So this just takes a little bit. It's not hard to learn. It's very intuitive. To learn how to use the bot is actually just a matter of minutes. It's really simple. But what we like everyone to take their time with is understand, when to apply the bot and how to apply the bot. Of course, you'll get a training video with that. You'll get all of the settings, but nevertheless, you still want to be comfortable, utilizing the bot. Once you utilize the bot, and I know that you trade 4, 5, 10 lots like you said, we would want to start a little bit smaller, of course, and that way we'll feel comfortable, and then you can always accelerate as you start becoming more and more successful. So yeah, the Pro's solid. So what we do there, I can send you wiring instructions. Once you get the wiring instructions, once you execute that, within about 30 minutes, once we receive the funds, you'll receive your download, you'll receive the license key, and you'll also receive the install videos, as well as you'll receive a PDF with the settings for the indices. If you have anything special that you need, just let support know. Support's there 5 days a week. And also you'll receive a training video as well. And we also have higher end profit taking videos as well. Those are very well put together. Again, you don't need to purchase those at the beginning. We really want you to use the bot. The bots work fantastic. But once you get really comfortable with them, those services are always there as well, later down the road. Okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Institutional grade trading software engineered for the retail trader.